Serial 19. Why did the ancient Americans build so many temples? The Book of Mormon states that the Nephites were a temple building society because they understood that the temple was the house of the Lord where God would come to commune with his people. The great prophet Nephi followed the law of Moses and built the first temple in the Americas. Nephi was familiar with the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem and fashioned the new temple accordingly. He wrote, "And I, Nephi, did build a temple, and I did construct it after the manner of the temple of Solomon, save it were not built of so many precious things, for they were not to be found upon the land. Wherefore it could not be built like unto Solomon's temple. But the manner of the construction was like unto the temple of Solomon, and the workmanship thereof was exceedingly fine." The numerous temples they built filled Central America. By 200 AD, most of the people in the Americas had fallen away from the Church of Jesus Christ. Prophets warned the people to cease their awful wickedness and return to Christ, or swift destruction would follow them, and their great cities would be left without inhabitant. But the people didn't listen. They divided into two opposing factions, the Nephites and the Lamanites, and the dreadful war began. The people continued in their awful wickedness until the word of the Lord was fulfilled. The destruction of their great nation left hundreds of deserted temples and cities across the land. This is a map showing ancient city ruins in Central America. As you can see, there are many. The victorious Lamanites would allow the legends of their great white god to degenerate into the worship of Quetzalcoatl, the feather serpent god. When Moses raised the brass serpent, it was a symbol of Jesus Christ, because all who would turn and look to the brass serpent would be healed, even as later all must look to Christ for salvation. In America, Jesus Christ descended down from heaven until he stood at the temple. Thus, the combination of the three symbols: serpent representing Jesus Christ, feathers representing the ability to fly or descend from heaven, temple representing the holy place where Jesus first appeared in America. The land is still covered by the temples they left behind. This legend of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent that represented the bearded white god who would return someday, was so widespread that some of the first explorers to reach the New World, Cortez at Mexico, Desoto in North America, and Captain Cook in Hawaii, were worshipped as gods when they came in contact with the natives. Serial 19 Summary 1. The Book of Mormon states that the Nephites were a temple-building society. 2. The Nephites knew the Lord would come to the temple to commune with his people. 3. The first temple Nephi built was patterned after the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem. 4. By 200 AD, people in the Americas had fallen away from the Church of Jesus Christ. 5. Prophets warned the people to return to Christ or they would be destroyed. 6. The people did not repent and the devastating civil war began. 7. The destruction of their great nation left hundreds of deserted cities across the land. 8. The Lamanites won the war and the legends of the great white god degenerated into worshiping Quetzalcoatl. 9. The explorers, Cortez, Desoto, and Captain Cook, were worshipped as gods by American natives. To continue, see Serial 20. What crucial warning does the Book of Mormon give to modern-day Americans?